Hi everyone, welcome back to Storytime Recaps. In this video, I'm going to recap one of the film from 2020, Run. Without any further, let's get started. Diane Sherman lay in bed in prayer after gives birth to a premature daughter who is observed in the incubator motionless, surrounded by medical professionals in a separate room attempting to save her life. After the doctors were able to stabilize the baby, Diane went to visit her and asked if she would be all right.
Will she be okay?
A woman has been spotted sobbing softly and asking who was going to help her child wash his teeth in what seemed to be a mother's support group. Diane appears disinterested as she is using her phone during the meeting, but the group is eager to hear what she has to say after another mother is done. Reluctantly, Diane shares with the group that her daughter Chloe will be attending college in a few months. She also reveals to them that she has been caring for Chloe for 17 years, spending her entire life worrying about her health and safety. Because of her dedication to her daughter, Diane never had time for dating or travel. The group leader calls Chloe, claiming that she has been pushed back because of her disabilities. At precisely 6:45 a.m., Chloe wakes up, uses her wheelchair, and pukes in the bathroom. She then applies lotion to some of her skin rashes, takes her morning prescription, and uses the lift to go downstairs. Diane discovers that Chloe's insulin levels are a touch higher than they should be when she pricks her finger while preparing an omelet. Just before Diane giving Chloe an insulin injection after taking the injection on her own, Diane assists Chloe with her schooling and psychical treatment. Later in the day, Chloe takes additional pills when the mailman arrives. Diane notices that Chloe is out of breath and quickly gathers the mail before Chloe can even reach the door. When Diane tells Chloe to use her inhaler, she replies that she's okay. Diane advises Chloe to concentrate on her academics and assures her that she will show her any college letters right away. Diane is currently taking care of her garden and picking some tomatoes for use in her dinner preparation. Diane discovers that Chloe's insulin levels are low after examining them once more, so she gives Chloe a chocolate. Later, Chloe has been viewing movies about the University of Washington and is obviously excited to attend. However, when her mother asks her a question, she hardly ever responds because the video she is watching is so encouraging of her. Then Diane asks Chloe as she works on a 3D printer in her room, asking her why some of the machine's features aren't working to her annoyance. Chloe responds that she could know which Diane chuckles if she had an iPhone. After giving Chloe her remaining medication, Diane goes downstairs to the basement, where she grabs a glass of wine and plays old home videos of Chloe when she was younger. The following morning, when Chloe sees her mother in the front of the house unloading goods from the car, Diane gets a call and departs to find better coverage. As Chloe goes through the groceries her mother brought, she steals a few chocolates. She also discovers a bottle of medications that her mother was prescribed. Hearing her mother, Chloe puts the pills back in the grocery bag right once. Diane claims that she had to switch medicines because her previous medical provider went out of business. Diane laughs and assures Chloe it's only a label when Chloe grudgingly asks if the medicines are hers because she saw her name on the pill bottle. The following morning, Chloe is still having doubts about the medicine, so she makes a sort of mechanical claw to reach the pill bottle on the highest shelf. She hears a car arriving and realizes it's the mailman again. She rushes to retrieve the mail, but Diane was the first to arrive at the door. While she's by herself, Chloe looks at a bottle of tablets called Trioxane and sees her name on it. She proceeds to peel the label off and discovers her mother's name underneath. This makes Chloe understand that she has been prescribed unneeded medication. Chloe covertly spits out the medicines her mother gives her for the night after she is certain she is asleep. Chloe uses the computer to carry out more research on Trioxane, but she is unable to access the internet. In the distance, Diane observing her from their kitchen, which Chloe doesn't notice. When Diane is seen fighting with an internet provider in the morning, it looks like their connection is down for the time being. Diane then questions Chloe about her use of the internet. Every time her mother gets sidetracked, Chloe pretends to be truthful and says she's been searching Google for instructions on how to fix her 3D printer. When Chloe tries to phone a pharmacy to find out more information about the drugs, they abruptly hang up on her since they think it's her mother. Chloe phones a random number after numerous attempts to reach a pharmacy have failed, and the man answers. She begs him to assist her by looking up trioxane pills. After some convincing, the man agrees, and Chloe quickly learns that trioxane is a medication used to treat heart illness and can lead to heart failure after discovering that the tablets she has been taking are green when trioxane is red. Chloe is perplexed and unsure of how to proceed. The following day, Chloe goes to the movies with her mother at a theater. After giving herself an excuse to use the restroom, Chloe heads outside, crosses the street, and heads to the pharmacy. She gets in line, shows the pharmacist the pill, and asks what kind it is. The pharmacist initially says no, but when Chloe lies and says she and her mother are on a scavenger hunt and the next clue is the pill's name, the pharmacist tells her it's a muscle relaxant for dogs. Chloe is experiencing anxiety when Diane rushes into the drugstore to give Chloe an insulin shot. She discovers after she gets home and takes a shower that she has extensive scars on her back that seem to be the result of either whipping or slicing. Later, Diane calls the drugstore and tries to persuade the clerk that she would never give her kid medication intended for animals. Diane Googles neurotoxins found in homes. When Chloe awakens in her room, she discovers that her mother doesn't appear to be at home. She seizes the chance to try to get out and picks the lock, but the door is being jammed shut by a rake. Chloe opts to knot several electrical cables together, sips water, and climbs out of the window. She makes it to the next window, where she plugs in her soldering iron and applies pressure to the glass. Water spewed by her accelerates the breaking process of the window, allowing her to crawl through it. Chloe needs her inhaler immediately and has to run back to her room. After doing so, she rushes to her elevator but discovers that it is not working. She falls down the stairs and sustains some injuries, but she also discovers that she can move her toe. Chloe then gets into her wheelchair and tries to flee, but she unintentionally rolls in front of a truck. Fortunately, the truck stops, and a man starts to approach Chloe, who appears concerned.
What happened?
Diane arrives at the same moment. The man and Diane get into a fight due of his suspicion of Diane. He asks Chloe if she wants to go to the police or the hospital, and she says she wants to go to the police, but it's unfortunately before they can go. Diane gives an insulin shot to the man, controlling him. Chloe starts to breathe too much and passes out. After awakening in the basement, Chloe discovers her college letters in the trash. She also discovers her baby pictures, in which she appears to be walking despite her mother's insistence that she has spent her entire life in a wheelchair. Finally, Chloe discovers a death certificate for a baby named Chloe, which indicates the child has only been alive for slightly more than 2 hours. The newspaper item about a kid being taken from a hospital suggests that Diane took Chloe when she was a baby to replace her deceased child. In a flashback, Diane is seen screaming while holding her deceased child and then staring at the newborns in the newborn room while she waits for the nurse to go. When Chloe realizes this, Diane walks into the room and the two get into a furious fight. When Chloe asks Diane whether she's ever been very sick, Diane sobs and tries to convince Chloe that everything she's done is for the best. In a desperate attempt, Chloe declines Diane's request for them to return to their previous lives. Diane then puts paint thinner into a pot and inserts the needle into it. When Chloe realizes Diane is going to poison her, she rushes to the closet and locks herself inside. Diane begs Chloe to open the door, but she refuses.
I'm not.
When Diane busts down the door, she discovers Chloe in possession of a bottle of drugs that, if taken in excess, are fatal. Chloe screams that Diane needs her and swallows a large number of pills. Diane cries and attempts, but is unable, to get Chloe to throw up the pills. Chloe is safe at the hospital room when she is compelled to take her to the hospital, which she does. Diane begs the medical staff at her daughter's hospital room to allow her to continue her treatment at home, but they refuse. Chloe is trying to catch the attention of the doctor who is caring for her. Her hands seem paralyzed. When Chloe tries to write something on a piece of paper, an emergency alert causes the physicians to depart before they can see what Chloe wrote. Diane takes advantage of the situation and kidnaps Chloe. In the elevator, she makes a promise to never hurt Chloe again. The doctors discover that Chloe has been kidnapped. In the meantime, Diane tries to help Chloe down the escalator stairs by herself, but she is unsuccessful because Chloe is using her legs to stop her. They argue, and before Diane can use her gun, a police officer shoots her. Diane falls down the escalator stairs. 7 years later, Chloe is shown getting into a car and heading to see her mother. It looks like her legs are healthier and somewhat functioning, but she is still in a wheelchair. Diane is visibly ill when they meet. Diane's heartbeat quickens when Chloe coughs up 3 trioxane pills. It's time to head home, Chloe says, promising to look after Diane in the same manner that she looked after her. Thanks for watching. And remember to turn on your notifications to watch more movie recaps like this one.